What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Joe from joesdaily.com. Today's video is sponsored by my friends at California Psychics, and I am so excited to finally release it. Have you ever wondered what a psychic advisor might tell you about your life? I know I did, and I'm not going to lie and say that I wasn't a little bit skeptical going into this, but I'm so glad I did it. Before even considering a conversation with a psychic advisor, I wanted to make sure I knew exactly what I wanted to ask them. I knew that going into it, I didn't want to be kind of all over the place. I wanted to have kind of a focused mission on what I was hoping to discover for them, giving them just a little bit of information. For me, there's always two things I'm questioning in my life, and that's money and finance and career and work. What's great about California Psychics is they have a great filtering system for their psychic advisors. So you can actually use the topics that, for example, the ones I chose, and I can actually filter through and see which psychics specialize in those topics, which is how I found my psychic advisor, Jacqueline. A big insecurity of mine is always second guessing myself, and I just wanted to make sure I was going down the right path, making the right choices. Historically, I've always come out ahead, but I always have major doubts about how I did or could I have done it easier. So without further ado, here was my experience with my psychic advisor, Jacqueline. So as I mentioned, I talked with Jacqueline for about 20 minutes, and I kind of wanted to share with you guys what I got out of it. Surprisingly, I got a lot out of it. I went into this very, very skeptical, and I didn't want to give her too much information so that she could kind of pick apart pieces that are going to trigger in my brain. And I realized, oh, wow, she's telling me all this useful information. And then thinking back later, like, wait a minute, did I give her that information? So of course I found her through the kind of the money, finance, career topics that I wanted to discuss. So that's kind of what I gave her. But I didn't give her a lot of information. I actually only told her that I was an entrepreneur. I owned my own business for the last 10 years, and that was basically it. And what she told me after was actually very shocking because, as I mentioned, I didn't want to give her too much information. So even when she said something that was spot on, I didn't give her the reassurance that she was right. I was just listening. And it really opened up my eyes to really prove to me that I am on the right track. She told me things that I never in my wildest dreams would think that anyone would be able to convey to me, because sometimes I feel like I'm alone with how I think about business and finance. And even though there are other entrepreneurs like me, I don't really think I've ever had a great conversation with one. So to speak to someone who is, in this case, a psychic advisor that was basically laying out my life like it was a book, it was remarkable. And just to give you an example, I never told her I was married. And next thing you know, she started talking about my wife like she knew her. Or, for example, that she didn't even know I moved from Los Angeles to Illinois, but she actually talked about a move to the Midwest. Or even further, she started talking about how my wife and I, since we work together, that we are going to have a number of employees in the future, which is insane because Sarah and I have been discussing actually creating a business where we would actually need a lot of employees to do that business. So all in all, I got a lot of reassurance that what I'm doing in my life, both career-wise and financially, I'm doing it right. And that's the crazy thing about it is she was very honest. It wasn't all about positivity. She was honest, saying that there are some things that are going to be roadblocks, but you'll conquer them. And, here's how you're going to do it because this is the kind of person you are. And, I never told her I was a Leo. I didn't tell her any of that information that I personally live by. And it was crazy to see her kind of pick me apart. Like she was just like, it was like she was peeling back layers on an onion. She just knew everything about me. And it was so wild because, like I said before, there was no information given to her beforehand. And, as I said, I was skeptical when I first started the conversation because when you start this conversation, you don't want to give them any information. But what was wild is that even when, I mentioned this before, even when she did nail something like perfectly, I didn't give her the satisfaction that she was right. Yet she kept going on and she kept peeling back more and more layers that were related to me, my financial story, and my wife, which is just insane. So yeah, from start to finish, the whole process with California Psychics was just easy and effortless. And like I said before, setting up the account was just only took moments. You add credits to your account and then you find your psychic advisor that you want to speak with. It's really that easy. Also want to point something out. If you're not in a rush, like if this is not something you need to do this moment and you find a psychic advisor that you're interested in speaking with, but they're not online, you can actually schedule an appointment with them and they will call you back at that time. So it may not be a guarantee, but that's a great system in place so that you don't have to feel rushed if there's someone that you think you're connecting with because maybe they have great ratings, maybe they're a good price, or maybe they only hit the topics that you want to talk about. You can just schedule that appointment. And that's something I would have done as well with Jacqueline since I connected with her so well, but she was already online, so I lucked out. So if you are interested in trying California Psychics, I actually have a code with them, which will give you $5 towards your account right off the bat if you use code Joseph5. I'll put it on the screen right here. And yeah, you guys could create an account and start filtering through and seeing if you find any advisors that you like. A huge shout out to California Psychics for sponsoring today's video. I love working with companies that I'm actually very interested in reviewing, not just because they're cool or something I would actually buy myself, but just they have something like a utility that I feel like a lot of my viewers, subscribers will actually like. So I'm always interested in working with people like California Psychics, and I'm grateful that they reached out. As always, guys, I'm Joe from joesdaily.com. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you see future videos. And if you want to support this video and help with the YouTube algorithm, make sure you leave a comment, hit the like button, and yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.